Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is that time again. Yes, another layout update finally. I don't have a big update for you, so I'm going to try and make this as quick and painless as possible. Try to do my best to keep it under 10 minutes. So anyways, without further ado, this is layout update number 35, and as you can see, the yard's looking a little empty. Got some trains staged up for my next operation session I'm going to be having. So first order of business, you can see I have my, finally, I have my proto throttles holder up here, up on the fascia. I just, you know, the thing is I could have put it there already because I had fascia up to here. So anyways, whatever. I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted it. It might move, it might not. I do need to get a holder for my power cab here, my NC power cab. So at some point I'll have one of those. I did, however, finish almost all the fascia on the first level. I got my toggle switches for my little lights here, my LED lights, as you can see. Fascia's up, toggle switches are in. I kitty cornered this section right here. I think you've seen this in some of my ops. I got some ground cover on this side. Not really happy with this ground cover. I thought it would be a little more on the browner side, but it kind of looks like a military green or something, or like a drag green, dread green, olive green, I don't know. Anyways, it's not horrible. I'm going to look for something else, I think. That is a scenic, woodland scenic scenery, so I don't know. Anyways, the positioning of the old abandoned tower, I haven't really made up my mind. I kind of like, realistically, would like it right here. However, for videoing purposes, I feel like it might get in the way. So, I don't know. It's nothing set in stone yet, so don't get too happy about it, alright? Okay, fascia, another kitty corner. It's just styrofoam with some 1x2s for supports. Took masking tape, just covered that up. I'll blend it in as time goes on. You've seen this already. This is temporary. It's just a poster board, which I'm gonna hopefully in the near future maybe just take some styrene plastic and, you know, just cut a piece of it and just go straight across. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. Working on a little static grass, you know, practicing my static grass. As you can see here, those trees that the super trees that I put leaves on for my fall color, I just kind of have them staged up here for now, and you can see some static grass right there. A little bit of fall colors on the grass, you know, with the leaves. You know, they get blown off from the wind and end up on the grass and all that stuff. This guy back here, I shaped them. Again, I put some of that earth, quotations, ground cover on. It's not horrible, but I don't know. It looks like it's just moss or something, you know. It doesn't look like earth. So, anyways, what else? Yeah, pretty much fascia. Working on what I'm going to do with this area as far as I get a little bit of this is pretty much styrofoam from here to here, and I'm pretty sure when I was putting the fascia on, I might have tweaked it a little bit, so not a big deal, easy fix when I get to it. I'm not sure if I want to have the office facing this direction or that direction, so not sure yet. So it's another thing to stay tuned for. You know, I still have a fence to put up around that and whatnot. A bunch of other odds and ends. Some trains staged for the next ops. I got a 22K, and then I got the New England Central interchange held up here in Gardner, Mass. For my next ops. And see, and then the fascia, you can see, excuse me, basically I stopped it right there. I'm probably going to kitty corner this area out right here. Another building, unfortunately, has fallen apart, succumbed to destruction. You know, just from moving it around a lot. Like, I forgot when I think I built this at least a couple of years ago. I put it together, and it's just been sitting around and then moved around, and temperature changes, I'm sure, you know. But this is going to be my mechanic shop. If you've seen Crooked Dave or Dave Thurber's channel, the Crooked River and Eastern, he had a video on this, and I like what he did with his, and mine's going to be similar to his. I'm not going to copy him, obviously. Not that I think he'd care, but, you know, I'm going to have my own little differences and whatnot. But it's going to be a mechanic shop, nonetheless. And I'm basically going to refab that, and then I like where this guy is. I believe Rail 80 2020 put this together. And, you know, just needs a little TLC. Not a big deal. We'll get to it at some point. Decided to put this little shed there for big and cement, which is right here. I haven't really done anything with this. I had to re-glue the silos onto the platform on this because it was loose. However, I lost a lot of other pieces. Again, this is another model that's been moved around a lot, so, you know, I gotta do some TLC with that bad boy. I think that's pretty much it for the first level. Also, actually, that's right, I just remembered, I did take out that signal that was here. And Atlas does make a left hand and a right hand, because I did some research. I actually looked it up. Not the locomotive here. That's staged for Springfield to EDY. So we'll give you a little sneak peek. Goes all the way over there. Okay, so moving you back slowly here. I put that signal on this side, on the left side. They do work. I don't have them. I don't have the Azotrack board plugged in, so they work. Everything's good. They are controlled by the Azotrack signal board and the male tortoises, so they coincide with that. This is my 4-stop, so it's the 4-stop for these, so I can just have them both red if I have a train come in from, you know, obviously the opposite direction. Which in this case, this train will be traveling northbound when it goes, and then any trains that travel this way are southbound. So that takes care of that. Okay, now that's pretty much it for what I've done, other than kind of straighten up the room a little bit and did a little vacuuming and clean the track. Over here, my future endeavors, I'm hoping for this year at some point when I have some free time over the summer, or in the fall, or maybe even when I'm laid off next winter season. So you see I have my walkway right here, right? My aisle to get out of the room. I have my drawbridge or lift up or whatever you want to call it for the first level. So initially I'm planning in my head to have this bridge right here, which I got to be very careful with because there are some loose pieces, and it's another thing that's been sitting around for a while and needs some attention. So ideally, if I can do this, I'm not going to do that. Anyways, ideally, if I can hold you back, I was going to have this span this section right here for the second level. Okay, now mind you, the way I have the track right now, sorry about the I'll try to get you focused in here. Okay, so I have the track going straight out this way, right? and it's got to kind of, obviously it's got to curve a little bit. So my idea was to take this, sorry if I'm moving you around a lot, I'm going to take this Code 83 Pico switch, okay. I'd like to kind of have it, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, at kind of an angle, so I could still have my siding and then have my main line right here. If I could get it to something like that effect right there, okay, then I could still use my bridge, at least it won't be sitting around, right, and pretty much have it sit right there, if you can see, right, so it'll span. So I need to do some Anyrail work, but essentially it's going to come this way, and then I can just have maybe like a nice broad curve coming around, you know, maybe even do an S curve or something, because when you get over onto this side, this is pretty much going to be the Hatfield section, okay, and then CNS, grocers, wholesale warehouse is going to be in that corner, and then just a little ways I'll have Turf Care, which is the fertilizer plant I used to work at, that's in Hatfield, and then point south, excuse the mess, but somewhere over here, here's the one of the microphone, oh, it's my microphone case, so somewhere in this corner, thinking of having the actually from this corner, I think, actually no, this corner was going to be like Sullivan Scrap or something in Hoyoke, and then over here, minus the mess, I was going to have Solanus chemical or specialty chemicals in Chicopee. So each section, you know, like this is going to be Chicopee, this is going to be Hoyoke, and this would be Hatfield right here, which would be, you know, CNS, yeah, Turf Care, and then Hoyoke, you know, you travel down. I don't know how that's going to work. I might have to just sacrifice Solanus here at the end, because initially I was going to have, this is Deerfield right here. This would be the first town going southbound, you know, from the East Deerfield Yard, you would hit, would be South Deerfield. This would be Elm Street, which is a real street in South Deerfield, and, you know, the tracks do cross that street, and then there's like where all these cars are parked, minus the cars, there will be Cumbies, like a Cumberland Farms. So I really don't want to have, you know, Chicopee come into here. So basically it's just going to be a dead end. Might actually be a dead end over here, or might even, you know, I don't know, I'll have to do something like a scenic, something a little taller than this maybe, like some sort of scenic divide, or I think there's some buildings here too in South Deerfield, but that's a general idea for my second level, which I'm hoping to, like I said, get into it this year. At least, you know, get the track down. So if I get the track down, I could, you know, literally do some operations over here. So, because it's been bare table for quite a while, other than using it as a storage, you know, a storage shelf. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So here's another idea. This would be the one last idea. Sorry if I lost anybody. But I saw this vendor at the train show this year, and actually my wife pointed it out. She's like, oh, check that out. And she ended up getting me a flyer. And it's this guy right here is Mayan customizable I could talk bench work. And I was looking at this. Let's see if I can. You check them out on YouTube. I was looking at this, the Mayan lift gate. I think that is like the coolest thing right here. And you could actually go on YouTube and look at some of the videos. I think he's got like a couple of videos of it right here. He is on YouTube and Facebook, so if you get a chance, check it out. But my idea was to have one of those, build my own, obviously not the same exact, but something similar to that, and just have it go up, you know, because I'm just shy of 6 feet, so even if I had it up to like right here maybe, or well, let's see, what, 5 feet's what, 60 inches, 72 inches is 6 feet, right? I think it goes up to 64, but regardless, I don't mind ducking a little bit. I mean, I'm not getting that old, so anyways, I think that's a pretty good idea. I'm going to look into that. And again, you know, I mean, first off, for the most part, it's going to be the bridge. It's, like I said, it's going to span, it's going to go across here. I'm probably going to build something similar to this, but, you know, I'll have maybe like a, I don't know, 8 to 10 inch low spot. Because again, like, it's going to be a lift out, and it's going to have to be anyways, because this is pretty much up all the time. So, well, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Anyways, we're getting up to 17 minutes, so yeah, let me know what you think. Drop a comment, hit that like button. You know, whatever positive feedback's always welcome. Hope you enjoyed. Questions, concerns, comments, just let me know. Like I said, drop a comment. Take care. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Appreciate y'all and my current subscribers. And yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. Take care. Have a good day. Stay safe. And happy modeling. Real Fan Man signing out.